Hi everyone, my name is Shani and welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to do the 20 random questions tag. It's my first video in 7 years and I thought this would be a good one for us to catch up. I used to do YouTube videos a really long time ago when I was at university. They weren't particularly good, but it's something I really enjoyed and I hope you enjoyed this video too. I'm gonna have myself a cup of coffee, so it would be lovely if you could grab one too and we can catch up. I'm going to be reading the questions off my phone, so if I'm looking away or down, that's why. And let's get started. So my name is Ashani and it means Queen of the Heavens, which is quite dramatic, if I must say. And it also means Goddess Durga, which is a Hindu goddess. I was born in London at Park Royal Hospital. So after I was born in London, but then when I was like 9 months old, I moved to South Africa and I actually grew up there for most of my childhood. I moved back to the UK when I was about 12 years old. So my star sign is Taurus, the bull. I'm not sure how much I believe in star signs, but I think they're always good fun to have a read and think, oh, this is going to be a good day and like mark it down and stuff. But whether things actually happen as per my star signs, not really. I have to say though, I'm pretty typical Taurus. I'm very stubborn and I have a lot of patience and all of the good stuff that goes with Taurus, as well as all of the bad stuff as well. My biggest fear is probably not fulfilling my potential and just letting time pass me by without doing something without doing anything meaningful. I always get this, I don't know, I feel like I always have a knot in my chest, like, oh, time's going by so quickly and like, you know, so quickly that you don't really have a chance to stop and think, like, what am I doing? What do I want to be doing? Is this really right for me? Like, you know, hundreds of questions that I ask myself. So that's probably, but my biggest fear is probably just not fulfilling my potential. Yes, I would consider living abroad. I'm actually living abroad at the moment. So my hometown, my home city is London, but actually at the moment I'm living in Milan. I'm working here on an assignment so I've been here for a year and I'm gonna be here for, I guess, another 6 months or so. So yes, I would consider living abroad. So I would consider myself being a good cook. I am terrible at cooking for large groups of people. Like, that really stresses me out. Especially in my family, like, we have a lot of really great cooks, so I feel a lot of pressure if I'm like hosting and have to cook for everybody. It's tough. I love reading fiction books, especially like chick lit, like Sophie Kinsella. Like, she's one of my favorites for a quick read. I'm pushing myself to read more non-fiction, like autobiographies and just like self-development books, but honestly it is a bit of a struggle, like trying to read it after work. I'm trying my best, but I don't get through them as quickly as I do with fiction books. The last movie I saw was Mumbai Hotel with Dev Patel. It's basically a dramatization of a real story of what happened to the Taj Hotel in Mumbai. It was essentially taken over by terrorists. I knew that had happened, but I didn't realize the extent of it. It's a really good movie and really eye-opening, and it's a really hard watch, but definitely worth seeing. So this is a really hard one. I feel like there's just so many different places and I genuinely love everywhere I go to. I try and research. I'm the worst person to go on holiday with in terms of planning because I will plan everything to a T, but I feel like that's the way you get the most out of your holiday, and like making reservations for restaurants and stuff like that, like months in advance. But I just want to go there and like make sure I do the best of everything and not miss out. But my favorite holiday destination, it's a really tough one. I really enjoy Bali because it's so diverse, but I love the seas in Thailand, and then I also like the vibe in like Santa Monica and like LA and stuff. So everywhere. So how many countries have I been to? I have been to quite a few countries because I love traveling. It basically means that I travel so I have no money most of the time. Okay, so I'm thinking about between 15 and 20 is probably like the number of countries I've been to. So in terms of conflict, I would say it depends on what the situation is. I would definitely be more prone to have conflict if it's someone I know, just because I'd rather speak to them, like if they've bothered me or if I've bothered them, I'd rather just get it out in the open and like have a discussion about it. If it's someone I'm not too fussed about and they've just annoyed me, then I'd probably let it go. But I don't think conflict is necessarily a bad thing, or confrontation is necessarily a bad thing, because at the end of the day, at least you know where, like, everyone knows where they stand with the person, rather than I feel like I have more anxiety if I know that I've irritated somebody and they're just like not talking to me. Like, I'd rather just have the discussion. I mean, after they've had some time to like vent and like get over it, and same with me, but I'd rather just get it over and done with than like have a discussion about it, see how we can work on whatever the issue is, and then move on from it. My first job was at Dulce's, which was a shoe shop, and it's long gone now, it's closed. But they did some pretty nice shoes. So I'm a mechanical engineer. I'm here in Milan as a mechanical engineer. I think the hardest part is, I think people think that because you're an engineer, you know like everything there is to know about everything mechanical related, but actually each type of equipment is very niche. And like, honestly, if I'm like completely honest, like the assignment I'm on now is like a massive stretch. I'm probably really underqualified for it, and I've had to learn a lot very quickly. I've got there in the end, but it was a very big hurdle at the start, and I was like really overwhelmed and under pressure to like learn very quickly. I think the problem I have and the weakness I would eliminate from my life is I always want to go above and beyond, and that's not necessarily a bad thing for people who appreciate it, but for those who don't, like, you need to know where your limits are, that you need to stop trying. So that's with everything, like actually having good boundaries in your life, both with like career, with relationships. I think it's really important, and I don't think I'm very good with it. So I feel like a lot of the time I can like get burnt out to a point where I'm just like completely exhausted because I've not like realized that I need to put boundaries up between myself and like others or work or whatever it may be. So definitely for me, a lot of not a lot of acquaintances, very few close friends. I find it really difficult to open up to people, which is really weird making a YouTube video, but I really cherish the close friendships and family relationships that I have, and that's enough for me. I rather know like 5 people than 50 people. That's just the way I've always been. My worst boss probably had to be the one before this project, before I moved to Italy. It was part of the same company. I've been with the same company for 7 years, and yeah, he was just really unorganized, and which is fine, fair enough. Like, not everybody can be like super organized. But I think what annoyed me was that he would forget that he had to do something that his boss had asked him to do. So for example, there was this time where he asked me to do something and it was 5:30 in the evening. And normally I wouldn't mind, I would just do it. Even if I was gonna leave, I wouldn't mind just sticking about and like having a look. And he asked me to proofread something. But the issue was I had an appointment in like town or in the city at like 6:15. And it was like a nail appointment, which might not sound that, like, I mean, it's not a big deal, but they have my credit card details, and it was like for manicure and pedicure, so they would have taken the full amount of money if I hadn't turned up for that appointment. So I said, I'm really sorry, but I can't do it today. And he got like really, really angry and annoyed about it. And it's kind of like, well, you know, plan your work better, don't take it out on me. You should just plan. By the way, I think things might look a bit different because basically my battery died and I had to recharge it. So it might have shifted a bit if you were wondering why. My favorite color is blue, but anyone who knows me, blue, white, and gray are like my favorite colors. Pretty much my whole wardrobe is full of blue, white, and gray. My favorite subject at high school was photography. So it's not actually very common for schools in the UK to have photography as a GCSE. GCSEs are basically the exams you do before the end of high school, and it's usually like between 15 and 16 you do your GCSE exams. So I did photography for GCSE and I loved it. I didn't get a particularly like amazing grade. I got a B, which is kind of average, but I did really enjoy it. I love the creative side of it. I need a lot more balance in my life. I need to like start getting back into hobbies, and that's basically why I started my YouTube channel. I used to love it, and then I started work 7 years ago, and it's basically been 7 years since I have done a video last. And I think it's always been a regret of mine because I really enjoyed YouTube, and even though like honestly my videos weren't particularly great, but I just loved it so much and I wanted to continue doing it. It's just a fun like creative outlet, and I hope you'd stick around, and I hope you enjoyed this video. That was my last question, by the way. So yeah, I hope you really enjoyed this video and would come back for more like some other time. I really do love the creative side of editing and just talking about things that I'm really passionate about. And I hope you'd stick around for it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it wasn't so rambly, and I probably said like hopefully so many times that you're probably sick of me. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.